Chapter 1. The Unexpected Encounter. The scent of freshly brewed coffee wafted through the air as Harold Jenkins settled into his favorite armchair in the quiet town's library. He had spent the morning immersed in the dusty pages of a rare law book, searching for inspiration for his latest writing project. As he closed the cover and let out a contented sigh, his mind began to wander back to the days when seduction was an art form, not just a distant memory. It had been decades since Harold's smooth-talking skills had left a trail of broken hearts in their wake. He had long thought those carefree days were behind him, but little did he know that fate had other plans. As he stood up to stretch his creaky joints, he caught sight of a stunning young woman, her raven hair cascading down her back like a waterfall of night. Sophia, with her porcelain skin and piercing green eyes, was the kind of beauty that could stop traffic. Harold felt his pulse quicken as she laughed with the librarian, her full lips curling upward in a radiant smile. He couldn't help but be drawn to her, even from afar. As he watched, Sophia's gaze met his, and for an instant, they locked eyes like two magnets attracted by an invisible force. Harold felt his senses come alive, as if the very air around him had changed temperature. It was a spark he hadn't experienced in years, one that left him feeling restless and curious. The librarian, noticing the lingering gaze, cleared her throat to break the spell. "Ah, Sophia, it seems you've caught the eye of our local charmer," she said with a knowing smile. Harold's face flushed as he turned away, attempting to play it cool. Little did he know that this chance encounter would be the starting point for a journey that would reawaken his dormant passions and leave him questioning everything about his quiet, predictable life. As Sophia departed, leaving behind only the faintest whisper of her perfume, Harold couldn't help but wonder what secrets she might hold, or what kind of trouble she might bring into his orderly world. The possibilities were endless, and he found himself both thrilled and terrified at the prospect of exploring this new chapter in his life, one that would undoubtedly test his resolve, challenge his values, and maybe even rediscover the art of seduction. Chapter 2. The Art of Seduction Revisited. Harold couldn't shake off the feeling of being stirred by Sophia's presence. As he delved deeper into his writing project, his mind kept wandering back to their brief encounter. He found himself rewriting sentences, adding dashes of passion and intensity, as if trying to recapture the essence of that moment. Days passed, and Harold became increasingly restless. His usual routine, a quiet breakfast, a walk around the block, and then a day spent immersed in his writing, felt monotonous. He began to crave something more, something that would awaken his senses and stir his soul. One afternoon, as he was sipping his coffee at the local cafe, Sophia walked in, her dark hair cascading down her back like a waterfall of night. Harold's heart skipped a beat as she caught sight of him and smiled, her eyes sparkling with mischief. "You're quite the charmer, Mr. Jenkins," she said, her voice husky and seductive. "I should have known better than to steal your attention away from your book." Harold's face flushed as he rose from his seat, feeling a sense of excitement and trepidation. "Please call me Harold, and I'm flattered you'd think of me at all." As they chatted, Sophia's eyes seemed to hold a knowing glint, as if she was privy to some secret that only the two of them shared. Harold found himself drawn to her, his senses on high alert. Their conversation flowed effortlessly, touching on everything from literature to music to art. Sophia's passion and enthusiasm were infectious, and Harold found himself laughing and smiling more than he had in years. As they parted ways, Sophia leaned in close, her breath whispering against his ear. "I think we've only just begun to explore the art of seduction, Harold." With that, she vanished into the crowd, leaving him feeling both exhilarated and unsettled. The encounter had left him wondering what secrets she might hold, and what kind of passion she might ignite within him. As he returned to his writing desk, Harold couldn't help but feel a spark of creativity ignite within him. His words began to flow effortlessly, as if the very essence of seduction had been reawakened within him. The Art of Seduction Revisited was no longer just a title. It was a journey that would take Harold down a path of self-discovery, passion, and maybe even heartbreak. But for now, he was content to let the mystery unfold, one tantalizing step at a time. Chapter 3. The Seduction of Innocence. As the days turned into weeks, Harold found himself lost in Sophia's world. Their conversations flowed like a gentle stream, carrying him effortlessly through the rapids of life. He discovered hidden passions and desires within her, and she, in turn, revealed to him the secrets of her own heart. One evening, as they strolled along the moonlit beach, Harold felt the weight of years lifting off his shoulders. Sophia's laughter echoed through the night air, and he couldn't help but be drawn to her infectious joy. As they walked closer to the shoreline, the waves crashing against the shore, Sophia stopped and turned to him, her eyes sparkling like diamonds in the moonlight. "Harold, there's something I want to show you." She led him to a secluded cove where a beautiful old sailboat lay anchored. The boat seemed to whisper secrets to Harold as he approached it, its wooden hull worn smooth by the passage of time. "This is my sanctuary," Sophia said, her voice barely above a whisper, "where I come to clear my mind and let go of the world." As they stepped aboard, Harold felt the seduction of innocence wash over him. The night air was filled with the scent of salt water and seaweed, and he couldn't help but feel drawn to Sophia's world. She showed him the intricacies of the sailboat, her hands moving deftly as she explained the mechanics of sailing. Harold watched in awe as she expertly trimmed the sails, her movements a symphony of grace and precision. As the night wore on, they lay down together under the star-filled sky, the sailboat rocking gently to the rhythm of the waves. Sophia's hand brushed against his, sending shivers down his spine. Their lips met in a tender kiss, as if the very stars themselves had aligned to bring them closer together. Harold felt the world around him melt away, leaving only the two of them, suspended in time and space. In that moment, he knew that Sophia was not just any woman. She was the embodiment of his wildest dreams, the seduction of innocence that would set his soul free. And as their lips touched again, Harold felt himself surrendering to the unknown, ready to embark on a journey that would take him to places he never thought possible. The art of seduction revisited had become a living, breathing entity, guiding them down a path of discovery and passion. But little did they know that their love was about to be tested in ways they never could have imagined, by the secrets they kept, the lies they told, and the very fabric of reality itself. Chapter 4. The Shadows of Deception. The days passed like a gentle breeze on a summer day, carrying Harold and Sophia along a path of love and discovery. But as the sun began to set on their idyllic world, the shadows of deception started to creep in. Sophia's past began to unravel like a tapestry torn apart by the winds of time. Harold found himself caught in a web of lies and half-truths, his trust slowly eroding like sandcastles on a beach at high tide. One evening, as they sat on the sailboat, watching the stars twinkle to life, Sophia's gaze drifted away from the sky. Her eyes seemed to hold a secret, one that only she knew. "What is it?" Harold asked, his voice laced with concern. "You've been distant lately, and I can sense there's something eating at you." Sophia's smile was like a ray of sunshine piercing through the clouds. "I'm just worried about some things from my past," she said, her voice barely above a whisper. Harold's gut told him that something was off kilter. He sensed that Sophia was hiding something significant, something that could change the trajectory of their love forever. As they parted ways that night, Harold couldn't shake off the feeling that he was walking into a trap. The shadows of deception had already started to seep in, and he knew it was only a matter of time before the truth came crashing down like a stormy sea. The art of seduction revisited had become a double-edged sword, cutting both ways, revealing the secrets Sophia kept hidden, but also threatening to tear them apart. As Harold lay awake that night, his mind racing with the possibilities, he knew that the journey ahead would be fraught with danger. He was about to confront the shadows of deception head-on, and nothing would ever be the same again. The question echoed through his mind like a mantra. What secrets was Sophia hiding, and what lay in store for their love once the truth came out? Only time would tell, but one thing was certain. Harold was ready to face whatever lay ahead, armed with nothing but his heart and his determination. Chapter 5. The Web of Deceit. Harold's mind raced as he pieced together the fragmented clues that Sophia had left behind. He knew she was hiding something significant, and he was determined to uncover the truth. As he delved deeper into her past, he discovered a web of deceit that went far beyond his wildest imagination. The more he learned, the more he realized that Sophia's secrets were tied to a mysterious organization known only as the Order. Rumors whispered that the Order was a powerful and secretive group, with tendrils that reached deep into the fabric of society. Harold knew that if he wanted to uncover the truth about Sophia, he had to infiltrate the Order. With a sense of trepidation, Harold began to gather information about the Order's inner workings. He scoured the internet, talked to old acquaintances, and even ventured into the shadows, seeking out whispers from the street. As the days passed, Harold's understanding of the Order grew. He learned that they were a mysterious organization with a hidden agenda, and Sophia was somehow entangled in their web of deceit. One night, as he sat in his dimly lit apartment, Harold received an unexpected visitor. A figure clad in black, their face obscured by shadows, appeared at his doorstep. "You're looking for the truth about the Order," the figure said, their voice low and gravelly. "I can help you with that." Harold's instincts screamed warning, but he was too far gone to turn back now. He nodded, and the figure led him on a wild goose chase through the city, revealing hidden clues and cryptic messages that only a true insider would understand. As they walked, Harold realized that he had stumbled into something much bigger than Sophia's secrets. The Order was a global phenomenon, with tendrils that reached deep into the very fabric of society. And Sophia? Oh, Sophia. She was at the heart of it all, her actions tied to the mysterious organization in ways that Harold could hardly comprehend. The web of deceit had ensnared him, and he knew that there was no turning back now. The only question was, would he be able to escape the clutches of the Order before they silenced him forever? Chapter 6. The Web of Deceit. Titan's Harold's mind reeled as he pieced together the fragments of information revealed by the mysterious figure. He knew that Sophia was deeply entangled with the Order, and that her secrets were only a small part of a much larger puzzle. As he delved deeper into the world of the Order, Harold discovered that they were a powerful and secretive organization, with tendrils that reached deep into the fabric of society. They had eyes and ears everywhere, and their reach was global. The more he learned, the more Harold realized that Sophia was just one piece in a much larger game. She was a pawn, a mere plaything for the Order's ultimate goal, to control the very fabric of reality itself. The web of deceit tightened its grip around him, as Harold struggled to comprehend the enormity of what he had stumbled into. He knew that he had to get out before it was too late. But his instincts screamed warning that Sophia was in danger, and he couldn't just abandon her without a fight. With a sense of trepidation, Harold made his move. He contacted old acquaintances, seeking their help in unraveling the mystery of the Order. Together, they pieced together fragments of information, following a trail of clues that led them deeper into the heart of the organization. As they dug deeper, Harold's world began to unravel. He realized that Sophia was just one part of a much larger tapestry, a tapestry woven from threads of deceit and lies. The Order had manipulated her, using her as a pawn in their game of power and control. The web of deceit tightened its grip around him, but Harold refused to give up. With a fierce determination burning within him, he vowed to take down the Order, no matter the cost. He knew that Sophia was just one part of the equation. The key to unlocking the secrets of the Order lay hidden deep within her own psyche. And so, Harold embarked on a perilous journey into the heart of the Order, determined to unravel the mysteries of their world and free Sophia from their grasp. But as he delved deeper into the shadows, he knew that his life was hanging by a thread. One wrong move would send him plummeting down the rabbit hole, forever trapped in the web of deceit. Chapter 7. The Rabbit Hole. Harold's determination to uncover the truth about Sophia and the Order led him down a rabbit hole of intrigue and deception. He found himself entangled in a web of lies and half-truths, with no clear path forward. As he delved deeper into the heart of the Order, Harold encountered a cast of characters who seemed more like puppets on strings than living beings. Each one revealed a piece of the puzzle, but also seemed to be hiding something. He met the enigmatic leader known only as the Architect, who spoke in riddles and paradoxes. He encountered the sinister operative codenamed Specter, who seemed to be watching his every move, and he even stumbled upon a mysterious figure known only as the Whisperer, who whispered secrets in his ear that sent shivers down his spine. As Harold navigated this treacherous landscape, he began to realize that nothing was as it seemed. The Order was a labyrinth of mirrors and reflections, where truth and lies blurred into a haze of confusion. One night, as he sat in his dimly lit apartment, staring at the cryptic messages scrawled on his walls, Harold felt like he was losing his grip on reality. He knew that Sophia was trapped somewhere in this maze, but he had no idea how to find her or free her from the Order's grasp. Just when he thought he couldn't take any more, a knock at the door interrupted his reverie. It was Specter, come to deliver a message from the architect. "Meet me at the old clock tower," it read. "Come alone." Harold knew that this was a trap, but he also knew that if he didn't take the bait, Sophia would be lost forever in the labyrinth of the Order's making. With a heavy heart and a sense of trepidation, Harold made his move. He set out for the old clock tower, ready to face whatever lay ahead. Little did he know, however, that this was just the beginning of a journey down the rabbit hole, a journey that would change him forever. Chapter 8: The Clock Tower Conundrum. Harold arrived at the old clock tower, his heart racing with anticipation and trepidation. Specter was waiting for him, standing motionless like a statue. "You're late," Specter said, her voice as cold as ice. "The architect is waiting." Harold followed her into the clock tower, his eyes adjusting to the dim light within. The air was thick with the scent of old books and dust. As they climbed the stairs, Harold noticed that the walls were covered in cryptic symbols and diagrams. He recognized some of them as ancient languages, but others seemed to be a code he couldn't decipher. At the top of the stairs, they entered a large chamber filled with rows of ancient artifacts. The architect stood at the far end, surrounded by a halo of soft light. "Ah, Harold," she said, her voice like music. "I've been expecting you. You're just in time to witness the next phase of our plan." Harold felt a shiver run down his spine as he approached the architect. She was an enigmatic figure, her face hidden behind a veil of silk. "What do you want from me?" Harold asked, trying to keep his voice steady. "I want your help," the architect replied. "You see, we've reached a critical point in our plan. We need someone with particular skills to help us reach the next level." Harold's instincts screamed warning. He knew that he was walking into a trap, but he also knew that he had to try and save Sophia. "What do I have to do?" Harold asked, his voice firm. The architect smiled, her eyes glinting with amusement. "Ah, Harold, you'll find out soon enough. Just follow my instructions, and we'll see each other again, in a different way." With that, she vanished, leaving Harold staring at the empty space where she had stood. Specter was nowhere to be seen either. Harold knew that he was in trouble. He had to get out of there as fast as he could, but his instincts told him that the architect's plan was far from over. He had to find Sophia and get her out of this mess before it was too late. As he made his way back down the stairs, Harold couldn't shake off the feeling that he was being watched. He knew that he had to be careful, or else he would end up trapped in the Order's web forever. Chapter 9: The Mysterious Message. Harold rushed out of the clock tower, his mind racing with questions and doubts. What did the architect want from him, and what was her plan? As he walked back to his apartment, Harold noticed a piece of paper on the ground. He picked it up, recognizing Sophia's handwriting. "Meet me at the old windmill on the outskirts of town," the message read. "Come alone." Harold felt a surge of hope and determination. This was Sophia's way of reaching out to him, wasn't it? He had to go to the meeting, no matter what risks lay ahead. He arrived at the old windmill just before dawn, his heart pounding with anticipation. As he entered the abandoned structure, he saw Sophia waiting for him, her eyes shining like stars in the dim light. "What's going on?" Harold asked, trying to keep his voice steady. Sophia hesitated, looking around nervously. "I don't have much time," she said. "The Order is closing in. I need your help to get out of this place before it's too late." Harold nodded, his mind racing with plans and strategies. "What do you need me to do?" Sophia took a deep breath. "I need you to take me to the hidden entrance," she said. "It's the only way we can escape the Order's grasp. But I'll need your help to get past their guards." Harold felt a thrill of excitement mixed with fear. He knew that this was his chance to save Sophia, but he also knew that he was taking a huge risk. "What's the hidden entrance?" he asked, trying to keep his voice steady. Sophia smiled, her eyes shining with determination. "It's a secret passage," she said. "Only a few people know about it, but we can make it work if you're willing to take the chance." Harold looked around nervously, wondering what lay ahead. He knew that he had to trust Sophia, but his instincts were screaming warning. "Let's do it," he said finally, his voice firm with determination. Sophia nodded, her eyes shining with gratitude. "Thank you," she said. "We'll make it out of here together." And with that, they set off into the unknown, ready to face whatever lay ahead and risk everything for their freedom. Chapter 10. The Escape. Harold and Sophia made their way through the winding streets, trying to blend in with the early morning crowd. They moved swiftly but cautiously, avoiding any suspicious glances or suspicious characters. As they turned a corner, Harold spotted a small alleyway between two buildings. He nodded to Sophia, and they slipped into the alley, moving as quickly as possible. The air was thick with the smell of garbage and rotting food, but Harold didn't care. They had to get out of there before the order caught up with them. Sophia led the way, her eyes scanning the rooftops for any sign of pursuit. Harold followed close behind, his heart pounding in his chest. As they emerged from the alleyway, Harold saw a narrow stairway leading up to the rooftop. He gestured to Sophia, and she nodded, taking the stairs two at a time. Harold followed, his eyes fixed on the top of the building. They reached the rooftop just as the sun was rising over the city, casting long shadows across the rooftops. Sophia stopped at the edge of the roof, looking out over the city. "We're almost there," she said, her voice barely above a whisper. Harold followed her gaze, his eyes scanning the horizon. He saw it, a small opening in the side of the building, partially hidden by a tattered awning. "Get ready," Sophia whispered, her hand grasping Harold's arm. They moved swiftly towards the opening, their hearts pounding in unison. As they reached the edge, Sophia pushed open the door and pulled Harold through after her. Harold felt a rush of excitement mixed with fear as he stumbled into the dimly lit tunnel beyond. He looked around, taking in the dusty cobwebs and ancient stonework. "This is it," Sophia whispered, her eyes shining with determination. "We made it." As they moved deeper into the tunnel, Harold felt a sense of hope and freedom. They had done it, escaped the order's grasp, and made their way to safety. But as he turned back to look at Sophia, he saw something that made his heart stop in his chest. Her eyes were glowing with an otherworldly light, her skin pale and clammy. "Who are you?" Harold demanded, his voice firm but shaking. Sophia's smile was cold and calculating. "I'm the one who's been leading you all along," she said, her voice dripping with malice. Harold felt a chill run down his spine as Sophia reached out to him, her hand grasping his wrist like a vice. "You should have listened to me when I warned you," she whispered, her eyes burning with an intense hatred. "Now it's too late." And with that, everything went black. The end.